everyone. This is Peng Peng, and I'm here with Rob at Front Row Live, and check out my new single, SRIRACHA.
What's up, guys? Rob here, Front Row Live Entertainment. I am hanging out in the studio with Peng Peng, and I'm so excited to be talking to you. You've had quite a busy year. You've had a few performances already on your belt this year.
I have. It's been such a fun ride, and I'm like so grateful.
How do you like that when you're, especially because you released like 3-4 singles this year, so you're able to put them on stage for us and then perform them. So, you know, how do you like being able to release music and then having all these events to perform at?
Oh, it is such a dream come true. I feel like every time I'm in the studio writing a song, it's for stage.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I was able to perform at the UNFO Awards, my new song, Tell Me What's My Name, and Captain, and just bring those songs to life.
Right.
Oh, it's been such a dream. I've been having so much fun with like the creative process, choreography. And I remember at the UNFO, they were like, you can have screen, you can have lights. I'm like, oh,
wow,
it was such a dream. Oh, it was honestly just such a dream come true. And I feel like my music was meant for stage, and that's my dream to do that. So I'm just so grateful and thankful that I got those opportunities, because I know it's, you know, it doesn't come very often. So I'm just very grateful.
Have performances been like a more recent thing, or have you always been performing ever since you started releasing music?
Well, the first time I performed was VidCon, and that was when I first released Pretty Please. That was my very, very first single, and I was able to perform. There was like 30, 40 people in the audience, but it was a dream come true. It was on my birthday, and I just remember it was the best birthday present. I had all my friends dancing on stage with me, and we went out for dinner after, but it was, I think after that performance is when I knew I wanted to do it so bad. And again, I'm a new artist, so it's hard to find those stages and be able to do that. So when I got the UNFO, that was my second performance, my very first one to live TV. So it took a couple months to like prep for that. And we were in the studio rehearsing, but I think from my gymnastics career, going into the studio or the gym, or I'm just so used to it. It's very comfortable for me. And I love being able to bond over those events and those opportunities. So it was so much fun, but it's a newer thing. But I think I was meant to do that, because I feel like from gymnastics, I loved the performing aspect, or not really. I liked competing. Like, I mean, competing in front of judges is good, but like it's kind of nerve wracking. And I just remember one of my teammates, Janae Honest, she was from UCLA too, and she was performing with me at UNFO, and she was like, "Peng, I'm getting nervous," and I'm like, "Janae, all we gotta do is slay. Like that's all we have to do." I'm like, just feel good, look good, feel good, and like, you know, bring out the best of you. And like, I was like, we're not flipping. I was like, at least we're not gonna die.
When you think about the gymnastics and the actual performances, do you feel a different type of nerve or a different type of adrenaline?
100%. I think when I was first performing at VidCon, I was not nervous at all, which I was shocked about. I think I was so excited. And it was a lot different, because I feel like in gymnastics, I was competing with Team Canada or like UCLA. There's a little more pressure I felt just to be the leader on the team, or perform at my best. Right. Where I feel like these performances are for myself and for my own personal like dream goals. So I feel like at the UNFO, I was definitely a little nervous, but this is kind of what I've dreamt of doing. And I felt so comfortable. And it was one of those things that I just wanted everyone else in the room to have a good time. So I took the pressure off me, where I'm like, I just want us in the room, whoever's in the room with me, to have a good time. And like, even the dancers, I want them to have a good time. And I just wanted it to make it the best experience possible for the whole entire day. So like, we ate good food. I did another show, and we went to like, I don't know, it wasn't like the best decision, but we went to Korean barbecue. Before?
Oh, shit.
But like, you can't really do that in gymnastics.
True. But I don't know if you could do that when you're going to perform too.
Well, I guess we can.
You were fine, I guess.
Yeah. But again, I just wanted everyone to have a good experience. And I think that's a lot different in gymnastics. Like, I'm performing for myself, but also with the team. Right. And I did, when I competed, I wanted to have a good time too. Like, I was always looking out at the audience, but I'm kind of more owning the stage as an artist to like have everyone have a good time. And I'm like playing my music, and it's just so fun to like sing and dance.
And I feel like the UNFO performance was great, because it's a lot of different people there. It's not necessarily people that know your music, or people that listen to the style of music that you create. So I feel like it's a challenge for you, but it's also like a good learning experience, because you know how to kind of talk and bring everyone into your performance. Did you feel that in any way?
Oh yeah. I remember dancing and singing, and I always look at people's faces, and it's fun when, you know, people are bopping, because I kind of went into it thinking no one knows who I am. Right. And I am very, you know, I've come from the gymnastics world, and I feel like I did a bit of acting, and I'm still newer to the Asian community, and people are still learning about me. And Kelly Mealy, she's so awesome. She's kind of like taken me under her wing as like, she's like my big sis, but she's the one who invited me to the UNFO Awards, and she produced it all, and she did a beautiful job. And I think I feel like I'm just like starting to know people now that I'm able to do these opportunities, and I'm getting more comfortable with like the people who I'm meeting around. But it's so interesting, because after I got off stage, people came up to me and they were like, "Oh my God, are you on tour?" I'm like, "No, but that's what I wanted." I just wanted people to have the vision that I have of going on tour and doing music and performing and just having a good time. So I was so happy that the feedback, people like, random people just would come up to me and just were like, "Are you guys on tour right now? That was so good." And it put a smile on my face. It put a smile also on my dancers' faces, because they also knew that this was my first time, and it was my friend Janae Honest's first time dancing on stage, like with me as an artist. And again, it's a lot of firsts, which is really exciting. And I think I take that as a big challenge. That might be the athlete in me.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, to be like, you know, people don't know who I am, but they're going to know hopefully who I am after this. But that's the challenge.
That's really cool that, you know, obviously it says something about that performance when everybody's thinking like, oh, she's a touring artist, or like she's established. But I mean, it's not too far from the truth, because listening to the music, like, it doesn't sound like you're a new artist. It sounds like you've been in the game for some time, especially because you're kind of testing the waters with the 3 songs that you released this year. Like, I feel like you're testing your sound, your voice, you know, what you can do, your cadences. So talk to me a little bit about that, and just kind of like your decision of the songs that you chose to release this year, and why it was so impactful to try different things on every song, and also different producers.
Yes, I have been loving meeting different producers, different songwriters. And I think, at the beginning stages, you're always trying to find your sound. And I think at the very, very, very beginning, I was songwriting before I released Pretty Please, about like 2 years before. And you just meet a lot of people, and I think a lot of people want to help, but they have advice that sometimes is a little, you know, it can be a little heartbreaking at times. But I remember wanting to write these like confident, like Blackpink, very high energy songs. And I've gotten feedback on a couple of people, and they're like, "Well, you're not a bitch in person. Like, you're writing all these like bad songs, but you're not in person." And I'm like, but that's what's called, like, that's what I want to write. But
that's the actor in me.
Right. But it was so interesting. And I remember being so heartbroken after, and I was having this like, is this the right path for me? But that's what I want to write. I can see it on stage, like, kind of like the Tell Me What's My Name. Like, it's a very grandiose song, very anthem-y, stadium song. And I would just go home. I was like crying, and I called my coach actually, and I was like, they were saying like, this isn't me, but I feel this is me, because this is like what is calling me to write. And I am not a confrontational person, but I feel like I have all these emotions inside, which is where I get it out in the studio. So it's like these things I would say in certain scenarios, but I wouldn't say in person. And it was the side of me that needed to come out. And it was so interesting, because I just connected it, and I said, this is competitive Peng Peng. Like, this is competitive me, where I would come out like laser eye, like tunnel vision, confident focus. And again, I write songs to lift not only myself up, but to hopefully lift other people up to feel confident, because there are definitely days where I don't feel confident at all. But that's why I wanted those bad songs to like in the Pretty Please one, it's like, pretty please come f me, like, in a sense. So it was an interesting journey. And I think after that advice, I was kind of lost. Like, I didn't know what direction to go. And I think for me, experimenting was such a blessing, because it was like what you said, experimenting, finding my sound, experimenting, finding my lane. I feel like now I know who I am as an artist, and I'm kind of like, okay, well, I need to stick with who I am as a person and what is really calling me right now. And I love, like, again, creating a character. So in different songs, I love getting into a different mindset of vocally, and being able to do like an airy voice or more like gritty voice, and creating those characters to what the song calls.
Yeah, and I hear that, especially with with Lighters. You're a completely different person with Lighters than you are with SRIRACHA. And I feel like SRIRACHA, the new song, like that really instantly like caught my attention because I was damn, like, you know who you are, you know your worth, and you're in my face telling me that. Like, that's what I got when I listened to the track. But, you know, talk to me about like finally owning up to that person that, you know, in the past they told you you couldn't be.
You know what's interesting? I keep thinking about the Incredibles meme.
Yeah.
When I'm writing songs, I think of Edna Mode from Incredibles, and she's like, "You're Elastigirl, pull yourself together." Like, I have to remember sometimes I'm like, I am who I am. Like, I'm 100% me, and as long as I do 100% me, that's all I can ask for. And SRIRACHA was one of those songs I'm like, I really want a fun club song. Like, again, I think when I go in the studio, I have these inspirations of like, I really want to write this type of song. I really want to write like this kind of song. I'm really feeling this right now. And again, I'm always thinking of like, what is this going to look like on stage and the set? And like, I really want people to have a good time. So SRIRACHA was so fun because I got to play this like real fun character. Like, you know, she definitely was like a baddie. She took no shit. And it was just funny because I remember when I first wrote it, I showed it to my friend, and it was more, we switched up the production a tiny little bit, but it was a little more EDM, like, and it's like very clubby, I would say. And it was interesting because it wasn't the type of music that I listened to, but it had potential. And I'm like, I see the potential. I just like, I couldn't figure it out. And it took a couple months for me to go back and forth with the producer being like, there's something missing in the chorus and I don't know what it is. And I finally one day just clicked, and I'm like, it's just missing the like that part. I recorded it on my phone in my parents' closet when I was home in Canada, because it was over Christmas.
Wow.
And I sent it to my producer and I said, this is what's missing. And he added it and I said, it's perfect. But my friend was like, I love these characters that you're creating in your songs, because my friends have never heard me like write music. Like, no one really has. So it's been a fun.
Who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like, who are you? But they're like, I totally see it. They're like, this is totally you to play all these different characters. My friends say I'm a cartoon character in real life is what I've been told.
I mean, now you got to do that for the music videos then. Just make it a cartoon and just prove them.
That'd be so fun.
But with that writing process, like, what was it like actually like owning up to, you know, the lyrics that you wrote about? Like, was that an easy process for you to write, or was that something that, because you said you're not confrontational, so was it hard to kind of find the right words to say it? It's
always easy to write. It's hard to release. I think it's always easy to write in the studio. I'm like, I have all these feelings. I want to get it out. I know exactly what I want to say. And it's fun because like with songwriters in the room too, we have a fun time. Like, this is like how I'm feeling. Like, and I was thinking, you know, there was a situation, and for SRIRACHA specifically, I was like, the vibe is I'm coming in hot. Like, again, I would never tell this person, you know, that they hurt me so badly. Just write a song and, you know, get it out musically and get it out creatively. But the whole vibe is like, okay, if you're going to make me the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. And I just, whenever I'm in the studio, I just own the character. It's the hardest part is like releasing it and then believing it, like what you said, but those feelings are so true in the moment. And now it's kind of like, but this is my story in a way. And again, what I would say, but I feel like it's like in gymnastics, I had like two different characters. It was like my home base, like, you know, me outside gymnastics, and then my gymnast self. I feel like all these songs are like my gymnast self in a way, where my gymnastics self was so confident and my home self was a little more insecure. So I think for me, it's fun to remember again, like Edna Mode, just like who I am. This is a part of me, and owning up to it. I'm still constantly reminding myself, but those songs are there to sometimes remind myself. Yeah.
Do you feel like gymnastics helped you in a way to be able to sing the way that you sing, just because of like breathing techniques, or just your core, or just like
no, because when I did singing lessons, she's like, relax, you need to relax, and I'm like, I can't, like, I'm so used to holding my breath in gymnastics. I actually when I've been working with my vocal coach, it's been opposite. So
so it's like learning all over again.
Yeah, so I'm like learning how to breathe again, and like in gymnastics I'd like, you know, tense up, and I definitely relearning some things from like gymnastics. You have to be like really tight, and singing you have to be tight in certain areas, but like relaxed in other areas. So, but I'm trying to take my training from what I learned back then in gymnastics and apply it to singing. So some of it definitely correlates, and other things are like, oh man, I have these habits that I do that I don't even realize from gymnastics.
With SRIRACHA, what lyric or even vocal like really challenged you during the recording process or even the creative process?
Oh, something that challenged me. Oh my God, it was such a fun song. Like, I remember going in and the producer was like, yeah, do that. And I was like, ooh, should I try this? Should I try that? I think the challenge is staying consistent with the character. So, we always I do a couple takes to find a tone that I like, that suits the song. And I remember playing around at the beginning, like, how do I want to be a little more vocal fry, or do I want to be more whispery or upfront in your face? I think always the initial part of singing is like the challenge to figure out where in my voice should I sit and then commit and then continue. So sometimes I'll even, we'll do the first verse or the pre, and in the pre I'm like, oh, but I like this tone better. Like, can I redo the verse? And we had a lot of fun just doing the SRIRACHA. Like, I think I did 20 takes, but I did that silly one and we're just cracking up laughing. And we're like, that's it. But I have to say the challenge was finding the tone, finding where in my voice I wanted it to sit, what character. And I like to move around when I sing. So always the hardest part in the studio is singing to stillness. Stillness is so hard for me.
Just bring an audience every time you have to record.
I know, or I need a moving microphone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Make it like a training process or something.
Yeah,
treadmill or something.
Exactly. Oh, a treadmill would be crazy.
Well, I'm sure.
Like, oh, SRIRACHA.
Yeah. I'm sure once you start the tours, I'm sure you're going to have to learn to run and sing at the same time if you're not already doing that.
Yeah, no, I started doing that because I did a show at Peppermint Club in LA. So it was my first half an hour show. And my friends and it was also their first half an hour show as well. And we were in the studio like 5-6 hours, like 4 times a week. But it was so much fun for us because we're all homies too. And so one of my friends was coming out of dance retirement. The other friend, I gave her the challenge to choreograph because she's been wanting to choreograph. So she was having a great time, like, completing the set and knowing what songs are up next and how to groove from one song to the other. But I was training. I was like on the elliptical because I can't run because I have bad knees. Thanks, gymnastics. But I was on the elliptical and I would, have my little water and blow into the straw and bubble. And then I was definitely working on my stamina because cardio for a gymnast is like, we do 1.5 minute routines. So 30 minutes was like, and I'm 8 years retired. So I'm like, okay, I need to I
don't know if I can do
step
this.
it up a little bit. No, but it would turn out great, and it was so much fun. I loved the process, and I'd love to do like a 2-hour show.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah,
soon. I hope. You released 3 songs this year, and I'm curious. Like, are these going to be part of a body of work, or are you still trying to figure out, more singles before you can decide on maybe another EP or an album?
So next year is kind of when I would focus more on the EP. Like, I'm working on it this year to hopefully release next year or an album. But this year I really wanted to just get my singles out and really commit to myself because I'm an independent artist. So last year, it takes a while to release songs that I've realized. I'm like, oh my God, I've written these songs like 2 years ago, and it's hard to get all the aspects together. And, there's a lot more to songs than I thought. But I really committed to myself to release every 6 weeks this year. And so I have about, I think 4 or 5 more songs coming out this year. And I've written songs for next year. So hopefully I can work towards an album. But it's been a lot of fun to be able to like plan this out. And I've planned this out probably since last year. And I'm sure that's what labels do. And I'm sure what other independent artists do. They have songs like to be able to release for the next year. And so, again, it's been a really fun journey figuring it out. I feel very independent. Like, I definitely feel like an entrepreneur when it comes to all this stuff, but, it's really fun to be able to bring all the creativity to life. Finally.
I mean, the music will speak.
Yes.
I feel like it will, and it just continues to evolve every release that you do. So
thank you.
I'm looking forward to more from you. Before we do close out, like what excites you most about creating music?
I hope one day I have a budget. I hope one day I can do a really cool music video.
Yeah.
Or again, when I'm on stage, just have like a really fun stage set. That's kind of what excites me most about writing music. And when I was at the Unfo Awards, it was just seeing everyone's face have a good time. And I love bringing the energy up in the room. And I think that's why I love writing music, to be able to not only express myself, but also have other people like feel really good in their bodies, like with their music or with listening to my music. And so I'm just excited to, again, hopefully one day create like a dope music video, stage, a stage set. So I'm excited to see what's to come. Very grateful for what's happening. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me. Thank you for wanting to do this.
No, thank you for asking me.
I listened to the track and I was like, I need to get her in. Yes. So I'm glad this worked out. You guys, please be sure to check out Peng Peng. New single, SRIRACHA, is out now. And thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.